What's up everybody, Spencer Gilmore here, back with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be going over Hair Rescue, a comprehensive FAQ for those seeking alternatives to finasteride. And that was really the main reason why this product was created. Finasteride is an FDA-approved oral treatment for preventing male pattern baldness, androgenic alopecia in men. And if you're someone who hasn't tried it yet, you're over the age of 18, you consult your doctor, get your blood work done, give it a shot. 1 milligram daily, see how it works for you, because for about 90% of men, it's a great option for preventing further hair loss. 10% of people, definitely experience side effects. And of those 90 who don't experience side effects, they don't get the best results, get very mid results. So what else is out there? That's where this comes in. It's a topical anti-androgen that blocks DHT specifically on the scalp without running the risk of inducing those sexual side effects from lowering DHT systemically throughout the body. So I'm going to be going over my new and improved FAQ page on the website. There's 10 of the most commonly asked questions that I get, as well as questions that I think people would want answers to as to why they should look at potentially using an alternative to finasteride or adding it into a routine of finasteride already. So the first question, what makes Hair Rescue different from finasteride? Well, I kind of got into that with the intro, but unlike finasteride, which is an oral medication to systemically reducing DHT throughout your body, Hair Rescue uses RU58841, a topical solution that locally blocks androgen receptors in your hair follicles, which means no systemic hormone disruption, targeted action only on the scalp, minimal risk of widespread side effects, and preserving your body's natural hormone balance. And those are some of the most enticing reasons for why you would jump on a topical anti-androgen and not a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, which is things like finasteride and dutasteride. How does RU58841 work differently than finasteride? Finasteride works by reducing overall testosterone conversion to dihydrotestosterone. RU58841 takes a more precise approach by binding directly to the androgen receptors in your hair follicles, by blocking DHT locally without reducing total hormone levels, preventing DHT from causing hair follicle miniaturization, and maintaining your body's natural hormone ecosystem. Similar overlay to the first question, but just a little more in-depth there. What sexual side effects can I avoid from Hair Rescue? Well, Hair Rescue eliminates the most common side effects from finasteride, which are erectile dysfunction, reduced libido, hormone suppression, decreased sexual performance, impact on fertility, and the psychological sexual anxiety coming from all of those. On top of that, you can notice things like bloating, mental fatigue, and brain fog. Those are all things associated with low DHT. Pretty nasty issues, but this isn't fear-mongering. Again, maybe 10% of people notice this at like 5%. That reduces a little bit to when you take 1 milligram finasteride. So not fear-mongering, but with the amount of kids in my DMs that take this and men that take this and end up with issues, I would say it's a lot higher than the percentage that they gave out in the clinical trial data. Q4, is Hair Rescue safe for long-term use? While RU58841 is still considered a research chemical, early studies and user experience suggest the localized treatment reduces systemic side effects, no reported long-term hormonal disruption. Ongoing research continues to validate some of the safety concerns, as the patent has been recently sold to a Japanese pharmaceutical company that has said they're going to try again with clinical trial data. Recommended to consult with your healthcare professionals, of course. You can always mention it to your dermatologist or your family doctor just to see, what their thoughts are on it. A lot of them have heard of it, and a lot of them, they don't necessarily aren't going to tell you always stay away from it. But, if it's something that you've tried finasteride, suffered from those issues, or it's not getting the results that you wanted, most of them will be on board as long as you're trying to get it from a reputable source. And then we also have our 90-day satisfaction guarantee to provide you with a little more confidence. If you use it for 90 days and anything goes wrong or not getting the results you want, we'll give you your money back. Who should consider using Hair Rescue? Ideal candidates include individuals experiencing male or female pattern baldness, those who experience finasteride side effects, people wanting a targeted / non-systemic approach to battling hair loss, individuals aged 25 to 55. This is really the range that I like to recommend it to people because your brain is fully developed and your hormones are fully developed. Hopefully you haven't lost too much hair by the age of 25. Those with non-pre-existing scalp conditions, you need to make sure that you're actually suffering from male pattern baldness or AGA before jumping on things like RU58841 and finasteride. If you have a different reason for your hair loss, whether it's diet, whether it's stress, cortisol levels, you'll want to consult with your dermatologist or healthcare professional to figure out why you're actually balding. Those seeking an alternative to oral medications, I like to address hair loss at the scalp level. I think it's the best way to do it because it's where the hair follicles are, but some people prefer oral medications. Whatever floats your boat. How quickly can I expect results? Question 6. Based on users' experience and clinical observations, reduced hair shedding usually begins within 2 to 4 weeks of jumping on this, as early as 2 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks or longer. Don't want to make any promises there, but many of the people who use this definitely notice a reduction in hair shedding to almost no hair shedding within the first 4 weeks of using the product. Visible hair thickness within 3 to 4 months and significant regrowth after 6 months. Continued improvement up to 12 months. Individual results may vary. It's not always cookie cutter. This is how it's going to work for you. It depends on your level of dedication and consistency to using these products. Just like hitting the gym, diet, and exercise, I can give you the tools, but you got to use them. You got to take it every day. You got to optimize everything else around you, and that's going to give you the best chance of getting the best results. What is the mechanism of action of RU58841? With it being a selective androgen receptor blocker, it prevents DHT from miniaturizing the hair follicles specifically, maintaining follicle health and promoting cellular replication, supporting hair growth in the anagen phase, the growth phase of the hair life cycle. But one of the big things there is it does have a different mechanism of action, so it can always be used in conjunction with things like finasteride or as an alternative. Are there any side effects of Hair Rescue? So potential side effects, these may include, this is what everyone always wants to know, temporary scalp irritation. This is usually, something that goes away after 2 weeks, but it can be common because we do actually have an ethanol-based blend, so some people can notice a slight dryness of the scalp, but usually it does go away. Minor initial skin sensitivity. There are rare occasions allergic reactions to this, which I have never actually had anybody have this reaction. Much less invasive than finasteride sexual side effects, and another way you could do this is just perform a patch test to see how your body reacts fully. Once mentioned too, if you look at the potential side effect profile of this drug, the potential chest tightness or heart sensitivity issues have never actually been mentioned. It's only mentioned anecdotally with people who take it. So I'm always weary of, where they're getting it from and if it's actually legit stuff. Question 9, how is Hair Rescue different from Minoxidil? While Minoxidil improves blood flow, stimulates existing follicles, and provides superficial growth support, Hair Rescue with RU58841 blocks DHT at the receptor level, prevents further hair loss, addresses the root cause of hair miniaturization, and offers more targeted, comprehensive approach. I like to say, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, where you're promoting more blood flow, more nutrient partitioning to the scalp, and then RU58841 is blocking the DHT. Is this FDA approved yet? No. Hair Rescue, RU58841, and everything in combination is not FDA approved yet. Important transparency note, RU is still currently a research chemical. It is not FDA approved as a hair loss treatment, and you have to use at individual discretion. Recommend to consult your healthcare professional before using. That is the new comprehensive FAQ page that we have there. I think it's pretty good. I think it answers, who, what, why would be best suited for this product and addresses, most of your concerns. Because I think one of the big reasons, because if you're someone who's seeing hair growth products, you're probably seeing all the other ones, and I just keep seeing more and more popping up out there, and they almost all seem to contain finasteride, minoxidil, and then it's like a couple other things. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but what if you're someone who doesn't tolerate finasteride well or dutasteride? We need an alternative. That's where we come in. We're also going to be offering an RU58841 only version, so without the minoxidil. That is coming at the end of March, hopefully in the next 2 weeks. And then also our advanced hair growth oil, which is an overall hair and scalp health oil. It does not have any finasteride, minoxidil, or RU in it. It is active botanicals, carrier oils, copper tripeptides, caffeine, biotin, zinc, etc. That type of stuff. I think it's very effective at, overall increasing the scalp health. All right, I think that wraps this video up. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, leave a comment if you enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep coming out with more stuff like this and probably branching out into other things.